feel like enough time has passed since the end of the hunt to a point where we can now complain about it properly. I know I already complained about it before the event started and even whilst the event was still happening, but now that it's fully completed and I even personally participated in it, I feel like I can confidently give my true thoughts on the entire event of the hunt on Roblox. Quick disclaimer before I continue, because I know there is probably someone in the comments already going, "Where you always complain about everything." Yes, I love complaining, but I also quite liked a lot of things about this event. You know, since everyone and their dogs participated in the hunt, I don't think I need to discuss why some aspects didn't make people want to die. Okay, that's boring. So number one, the main problem I had with the event was how big it was compared to how much time we had to complete it. The balance between those two things just did not exist, and that is the entire reason I and so many other people just could not finish it. I gave up after 68 badges, and that is quite high compared to how much lower the majority of people who tried to do this event ended up on. It just didn't seem very realistic. It might be different for some people who finished it, especially for the ones who somehow worked at ungodly speeds and got all 100 badges in less than 20 hours, but for the people who I know personally who got 95 badges, they spent every second of every day for the entire 2 weeks trying to get these badges, and even that was barely enough time. I definitely think they should have included less games, or at the very least given us at least double the time. And when I say less games, I mean like probably half of the games that we got. Maybe it's a nice thing that Roblox wanted to include as many developers and as many games as they possibly could. So if they were so insistent on having 100 games, I truly think that they should have at least doubled the time, like give us a month or something. It's not like it was for Easter or an egg hunt or anything like that, so there was no real reason to have the event end just in time for Easter. We could have had a lot more time and they just decided not to give us that. So then if the option of giving us longer than 2 weeks to complete the hunt was thrown out of the window, then the only other solution would have been to have less games, and we all know how many of those games they could quite easily have removed from the event. I truly don't think we have to mention in this that we thankfully got a nice variety of games that actually put effort into the opportunity they had been given. Games like Doors, SCP Roleplay, RB Battles, and so many more, but we do have to mention that at least half of the games included had very little, to some of them even having a grand total of 0 effort. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that it was unbelievably clear that Roblox had pretty much no quality control and they had no clear testing or instructions as to what the games were supposed to be doing, and that is probably the majority of the problem with this. Way too many of the games had their entire quest for the hunt just be play the game. No joke, there was one of them where it was like you have to take 500 steps, and I was trying to record a video for it, but the video ended up being like the footage that I recorded in the end was 5 seconds long, because that is how long it took me in the game to get the badge. I entered the game, I pressed the W key, I was walking for 5 seconds, and then I achieved the badge. But for some of them being just play the game, I'm always going to go back to Pet Simulator 99 for this example, because the quest for the badge in that game was quite literally just reach area 20, which you do by simply playing the game. To get through the game, you have to get pets, unlock eggs, keep going through the different areas, and that's the entire gameplay. They added nothing new for the hunt, nothing related to the hunt, and for people who had already played the game and reached area 20 previously, they would have had to simply join the game and the badge is automatically given to them for no reason. And even for some of the games that weren't ridiculously low effort, we also had a lot where the objective was either so long that it would genuinely take hours of gameplay just to get that one badge in that one game, especially for the people that started from zero and had never played those games before. You know, when there was 99 other games to also complete within 2 weeks. Genuinely, some of these games were acting as if we had 2 years to complete this event and not 2 weeks. It was kind of ridiculous at some points. Or some of them were too hard that it also ended up taking that long as well. Basically, no matter what happened with the games that clearly weren't under any kind of quality control, we just couldn't win. There was no way that we could win this. Even I, like I said, gave up after 68 badges, which might seem like, oh, I've come this far, I can't give up now. But I really only stopped trying because I realized I had been spending all of my free time doing nothing but trying to get badges in an event that mainly consisted of games who acted like they didn't even want to be in said event so that I could win prizes that would end up collecting dust in my inventory. Which brings me to my next point of people having pretty much no incentive to even start the event in the first place, let alone actually finish it to a point of forcing yourself to play a minimum of 95 games in the span of 14 days. Excluding the gold pass you had to buy with Robux or something like that, we had a total of 6 prizes ranging from them being rewarded after obtaining 5 badges all the way up to 95 badges being the final prize. I'm pretty sure that was also a big reason I accidentally gave up at 68% because the last prize I received was at 60 badges and then the next one was supposed to be 95. It was such a massive jump and there was absolutely nothing about the event, the games I had left to go through, or even the prizes that motivated me to keep pushing through until I completed it, which is insane because there is nothing I hate more than leaving things unfinished, and especially when it comes to video games or even video game events. So beyond the weird jumps between how many badges it would take to achieve the few rewards that we were faced with, I also think the items themselves weren't really worth the effort that we had to put into getting them. The items are not completely awful, and I even saw a few people every now and then talking about how they are excited to reach enough badges to unlock a certain accessory, which is always amazing to see. But unlike with collecting the egg accessories in the egg hunts, I just don't think anyone was anywhere near as excited or motivated to go collecting some accessories that all kind of looked the same because they were trying to fit a collective theme rather than each item representing a different part of the event. So I guess staying on track with the event having a theme, I don't think anyone really understood what the hunt itself in general was supposed to be. We were hunting for badges, great, we know that much, and with those badges we eventually could unlock some prizes with like a dark blue theme, talking about a vault, and I just have no idea what the theme is supposed to even mean because there was no clear storyline at any point in the event, whether it was the hub or each separate game. None of the games said anything about why we were hunting, and a lot of them were left to create their own storylines, which some of them did such an incredible job at doing so, but because they weren't really given any clear instructions, each game ended up creating a completely different narrative to each other, and it left the entire event all over the place and very, very difficult to keep track of what the hell we were doing and why the hell we were even doing it in the first place. Now, with all of that said and done, I probably forgot like quite a lot of things, but I do think that those are the main things off the top of my head to complain about. Like I said at the start of this video, I did enjoy many aspects of the hunt. I don't think the event was entirely bad. It's extremely unfair to even imply that. I also think saying the hunt was bad can coincide with saying the hunt was good. Personally, I think both sides of that coin are very real and very true, and all we can do from this point is hope that Roblox takes in all of our feedback, listens to every word of what the community is saying for things they both enjoyed so that they can keep doing it in that way, and also did not enjoy, disliked, or even hated so that they can change that and improve on that, and uses all of that feedback to make the next event or even the next hunt a lot better and something that's going to keep us excited for this type of event to keep coming back every year. Because honestly, right now, the only reason I am excited for the next event is to see if they improve the things that many people hated. So please, the comments is the place to go. Tell me what you guys think about the hunt and everything that I just complained about. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.